All right, guys and gals, Crypto Kurt here with another crypto video. And today we're going to be talking about a brand new ICO, which is going to go live in about 2 hours, called the Accounting Blockchain. All right, before we get into it, let's make the disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. And this video should be construed for entertainment, education, and research purposes only. Now, before I get started, you will see there's a referral link in the description box of this video. If you use my referral link and you purchase tokens, you will get a 5% bonus and I will get a 5% bonus. So it's a win-win if you end up clicking on my link, especially if you found this first and I'm the first one that you found talking about this ICO. Throw us both a bone. Now, they also do have a sliding scale of bonuses. We're going to look at that as we go through. And for the first, I don't remember the number of tokens, but there's a 50% bonus for in the pre-sale. So again, if this is something that you're interested in, and I think you might be, definitely click through the referral link and go sign up. They already have 65,000 people signed up, and it seems to be a really interesting project. Now, I'm going to be jumping around a little bit between the website, the white paper, and the executive summary. There's a lot of great information on the website itself, but before we get into it, let's just sit back and think about what's going on with the blockchain, what's going on with a lot of ICOs these days. And in my humble opinion, I think there's a lot of people that have solutions that are looking for a problem. Right? So in other words, they come up with some great U-Boot idea and then they're looking for some real world problem to solve, and the blockchain isn't actually needed or required for that to solve that particular issue. The one thing where a blockchain and smart contracts makes 100% complete sense is in accounting. So I have a degree in banking and finance, and that means I had to take a lot of accounting classes. And I can share with you that if you understand the basics of accounting, where you have dual entry and a journal, and you're talking about a small company with 1 or 2 people, doing the bookkeeping and the accounts is not that much of a drama. But when you start getting into larger companies, specifically companies that produce, manufacture, store, hold inventory, buy raw materials, and all of that stuff, trust me, ladies and gentlemen, accounting becomes a nightmare, and it is a very, very expensive part of any organization's costs. Okay, so just scrolling down a little bit here before we get into the nitty-gritty, you can see again the token offer starts in 1 hour, 54 minutes. It now is 6:05 p.m. on Sunday night, the 15th of July in Australia. 66,914 registered users and counting. You can see they've been listed on a whole bunch of ICO listing sites, and they've got some videos here on the website, and I would suggest you have a look at some of the videos, specifically this one, because what this talks about is the level of scale that's involved with organizations when organizations get big and the amount of accounting that's required. So with the small business, you probably would outsource and you'd have your accountant. As soon as you get to a business with 20 to 30 people, you're probably going to have a full-time bookkeeper and or accountant inside the business. As soon as you go above 50 people, you're probably going to have an accounting staff, right? And then when you get to 100 plus people, you're going to have accounting departments. And this becomes very, very, very expensive, especially from a labor or salary perspective, to have to carry all those people's costs on your books. So according to these guys, they're embracing disruption and value creation, and businesses around the world record their transactions separately from one another, creating duplication of work all along the supply chain, including great reconciliation costs, and are subject to fraud and error in each link of the chain. So for those of you who not sure what reconciliation is in an accounting standpoint, basically it's going back and having to review everything you've done up to that point to make sure that everything adds up. So again, not only do you have to do the work once, but you have to go back and reconcile everything, and that's where it starts to get super expensive in the accounting world. It goes on to say the accounting blockchain will enable accounting software used by businesses to become integrated. So once again, these guys are not trying to replace QuickBooks or MyOb or any of that. This is going to be the back-end blockchain, which is going to facilitate the transactions between the two businesses' accounting software, okay? It goes on to say, hence removing these isolated accounting effect that is estimated to cost the global industry billions of dollars a year and impedes accountants from dedicating their full potential in value creation work. So they're going to have 2 products, if you will. One is the AB Fingertip Suite, which provides a seamless marriage of blockchain technology into the way business is done today, preparing businesses for tomorrow and saving all types of businesses lots of time and money in the process. AB Fingertip Suite is the way forward for businesses wanting to integrate into the supply chain through blockchain and to introduce the future way of doing business through cryptocurrency seamlessly into their current business model and accounting practice. Another product they're rolling out is called AB Taxavance, and that provides reduced dependency on tax accountants by serving as a 24/7 taxation assistant, intelligently updated with tax parameters by taxation industry leaders while being continuously updated with crypto trading data. What that doesn't go on to say, and we'll look a little bit more in depth at that, is basically it's a piece of software which is going to help you as a crypto trader track your gains and losses. So what's the problem they're solving? So accounting data is very sensitive and needs to be stored in a secure, trustworthy place, more so when this data involves multiple parties, as the data needs to be stored in a secure place that is trusted by all parties. Mutability, malicious attacks, transaction costs, scams, lack of assurance of authenticity have all been barriers in providing a trusted common ground to store B2B entries that can be trusted by all parties. Thus, the status quo prevails and companies remain open, operating in relative isolation accounting-wise, spending billions in reconciliation costs, as we just talked about. The solution is a trusted, secure, common ground where to store triple entry information is the key to connecting businesses through triple entries. The accounting blockchain, a tailor-made blockchain infrastructure built specifically for accounting and for triple entries. This is a platform available for everyone to be able to use without having to pay hefty subscription fees to any particular software company, and it's a distributed, trustworthy, fast, secure common ground where businesses feel confident to connect with. This is only possible with the advancements in blockchain technology. So again, if we look more closely at the AB Fingertip Suite, you can see again, reconciliation of transactions between companies is a multi-billion-dollar problem. A small to medium-sized company has hundreds, if not thousands, of transactions between its suppliers and its customers, let alone large corporations. Each company must reconcile each and every transaction, and the balances do have to be agreed upon. For a small company, it's a nuisance and a waste of valuable time. For a medium-sized enterprise, it's about employing a few accountants for reconciliations with costs running into hundreds of thousands. And for larger corporations, it's about having huge reconciliation departments with hundreds of employees and millions in expenses, as we talked about before. So they're going to provide a user-friendly, really easy-to-use accounting platform that drastically reduces the cost of reconciliations by using the power and trustworthiness of blockchain to store triple entries. And it goes on to say in the white paper that there's also smart contracts involved as well, as you would imagine. So with the AB Taxavance, being proactive in tax decisions while making crypto investments is of the utmost importance to any sensible investor. Regulation and enforcement in this sector is gathering pace. Investments and trades are global and subject to a myriad of tax frameworks globally. The tricky part in this is finding all the information needed in one place to make wise decisions fast. Regulations are changing quickly, and it is imperative to have the correct knowledge while and after doing trades. Preparing tax reports and gathering all the information from exchanges is time-consuming and very expensive when done manually by a tax accountant. So again, they're going to provide a really easy-to-use platform that keeps track of your trades and their tax implications. A platform with tax parameters fed by a global network of tax experts that is able to work out in real time the tax exposure of your crypto trades and investments, and a global network of tax experts and collaborators at your fingertips. Pre-trading information including trade simulations to make proactive decisions, keeping record of your trades and their tax exposure should you buy more, hold, or sell. Okay, so again, it's just going to be a piece of software which is going to help you manage and report on all of your individual crypto investments. All right, let's look a little bit at the tokenomics of the scenario here. So again, it's ticker symbol TAB. It's an ERC20 token. They're giving one AB token is 1 penny in the initial token offer. They're going to have 22 billion, soft cap 4 million, and the hard cap 64 million. And then they are vesting the tokens for the internal distribution. And you can see the founders have a 3-year vesting schedule with a 6-month cliff. This means 1/6 of the tokens will be matured every 6 months. Any tokens not sold will be burnt. And registration for phase 1 of the public token offer will begin in 2018. As I said, or we looked at earlier, it's starting in about an hour and a half. Okay, so the AB tokens are actually going to be used by individuals to access the platform. This is in the website here, but I'm going to switch over to the executive summary. And this is a better shot of this because it basically is showing you everywhere where AB tokens will be used by the platform. Okay, so there are areas where fiat or other external tokens can be used or other currencies can be used. But internally on the platform, you're going to have AB tokens to access the platform. Okay, so let's take a quick look at how the AB tokens work. Okay, so the AB tokens can be used in three ways. You can either subscribe to any one of the services offered by Accounting Blockchain, record accounting entries, triple entries on the Accounting Blockchain, and users can use AB tokens to settle amounts due to each other. Okay, so you can use the tokens to get advantage or use the software, the Taxavance, use the fingertip suite as to help you do your reconciliation. And then you can also make payments. You can make monthly payments to Accounting Blockchain by using the AB tokens. It says businesses can opt to record their B2B entries, which is irrelevant if they use Sage, QuickBooks, or other accounting software. So, as I said earlier, they're not trying to replace QuickBooks or MyOb or Sage, but they are going to make it, their platform is going to allow you to not use those companies and use this platform to do your B2B entries if you'd like. Trillions of transactions can be recorded on blockchain technology. The more businesses record their transactions on the Accounting Blockchain, the bigger their savings in the form of professional fees such as accountancy and auditing. And when transactions are recorded on the Accounting Blockchain, businesses can use AB tokens to settle the amounts due to each other, which payments would be instantaneously and immediately recorded in the books of the parties sending and receiving the payment. Okay, so I've jumped over to the white paper now just to show you this diagram. So this is an example of company one and company two buying and selling something from each other, right? So company one has the accounting software. They sold something. Company two bought something from company one in this scenario. So company one generates an invoice, sends that to business two. That has to be reconciled. The invoice is received by the company. That's inputted into the accounting software. They generate a payment. They send a payment. It has to be reconciled on their end. They receive a payment, accept a payment, and then that comes into the accounting software. And then again, all that has to be reconciled once again to make sure that it all added up. Now that's nice, simple, straightforward. And again, this is what I was talking about earlier. When it's super simple accounting, it's super simple accounting and pretty much anyone can get their head around it. But if we come down here and have a look at this scenario, look at this. So here we have an end consumer, we have a retailer, we have a wholesaler, we have a manufacturer, and we have manufacturer suppliers. And then we have all of this stuff happening, all of these things going around and around and around. And again, reconcile, right? So as I said to you earlier, when you get into this level of accounting, it becomes nightmarishly difficult to manage, implement, and maintain. And it becomes super, super expensive. So what does it look like once we take this scenario and plug it into the blockchain? Now, all of a sudden, look at this. Super clean, super straightforward. Everything's handled by smart contracts on the back end. You don't have any of that back and forth drama going on. It's all just managed on the blockchain by the smart contracts. Now, again, if you're a mid-level accountant out there, this is the kind of thing that should scare you shitless, because this is coming. And as I mentioned in several of my videos, the whole middle layer of management is going to go away, because between the blockchain and smart contracts, they are going to perform a lot of the tasks that individuals currently are paid to do. Now, this is an interesting graph. It's basically looking at their assumption of the AB token demand and supply scenario. And you can see, we're going to scroll down here, so we're going to see in year one, they're basically assuming that they're going to be 13 billion used. Year two, 14 billion used. Year three, 270 billion used. And I think that's a typo, because if we come down here and have a look, you can see year three, 17 billion, and then by year four, 22 billion, and they come up here and say by year four, 23.4 billion. So I'm assuming that's going to be, these two numbers are going to be typos. So they're assuming that by year four, all 22 billion tokens will be required to facilitate the transactions on the platform. We have a quick peek at their roadmap. Started back in 2016 as an idea. You can see they've been doing a lot of work around it, feasibility studies. They're doing the ICO starting this month. The end of the ICO is September. And then September 28th, they're figuring there'll be alpha. And then they'll be rolling the platform out officially in February of 2019. They've got a mission statement, a vision statement, all that stuff. One of the things I think that's interesting is the organization is being launched from Malta. So they're incorporating in Malta. For those of you who are been paying attention to the world of crypto, Binance just moved to Malta because Malta is so pro-crypto. And it's very interesting, some of the people they have on this project as well, as we'll look at in just a moment. But you can see a couple of the things here. So, you know, they didn't get the flag in there. But they're calling themselves, you know, Malta is calling itself the BlockChain Island. So that's pretty exciting. They're going to be surrounded by a government that supports this type of technology. Okay, we'll come down here to the team. I just want to look at a couple of these guys. So Nathaniel Borg is the founder and CEO. So let's take a look at Nathaniel's LinkedIn. It says here that Nathaniel's early experience commenced when he kickstarted his career with one of Malta's largest automotive firms 10 years ago. I'm sure he was doing accounting for the firm. Basically, after a number of years, decided to join one of the big four audit firms. You find out when you scroll down that one of the big four was Deloitte. He was a senior audit senior in Deloitte Malta from 2014 to 2016, so 2 years there. Business development manager, head of accounts. So obviously the guy has been around accounting for a long time and has been, when you work with companies like Deloitte, you work with some of the largest corporations in the world. We have the CTO, Christian DeGara. That's why I tend to look at the two top guys, the CEO and the CTO, because I want to know where did the idea come from, and then where's the technology coming from. Basically, Christian has been a developer since 2008. So he's been developing software for the last 10 years and currently CTO of the accounting blockchain project. And then I thought this was interesting. Stephen Tendon is one of the senior advisors. And look at what this guy has done. So he's a senior executive management consultant, author, speaker, etc., etc. But this was interesting. In 2016, he acted as strategic advisor for the Ministry of Economy in Malta, investment in small business of the Maltese government to increase the country's global competitiveness. He developed the vision of Malta, the blockchain island. This was his idea, and authored Malta's national blockchain strategy, which was approved by the Cabinet of Ministers on April 2017. And then in 2017, he founded the first chairman. He founded and was the first chairman of the BlockChain Malta Association. He was listed in the Lattice 80 Blockchain 100 list of global blockchain influencers. So very, very switched on guy with obviously a lot of experience and a lot of care factor with regards to making sure that Malta is going to be the crypto island, and that this company is going to be doing something really, really interesting. All right, guys and gals, last but not least, let's look at the ICO bonuses. So you can see in the pre-sale, it was a minimum 50K, and that was all private. So, you know, you had to be cashed up to be involved with that. Soft cap, which is going to start in an hour and a half-ish. You're looking at a 50% bonus. Then we have a series of waves that are based on the amount of tokens that are being released. And you can see the values here. So once that value is achieved, they basically are going to move into the next value. So it's well and truly worth getting involved today and getting signed up and getting that 50% bonus. Again, I'll remind you, if you've stuck with me this long, there's an affiliate link. You will get 5% bonus on top of these bonuses as well, and I'll get a 5% bonus. So click through to my link, and we're both going to get a little kicker on top of this as well. All right, so at 18 minutes, 7 seconds, that's going to bring an end to this ICO and white paper review. Again, you can come to the accountingblockchain.io website. As I said, there's an affiliate link in the description below, and you and I both will get a 5% bonus, even on top of the bonuses that you're seeing now in the ICO. So I'm just going to go back and say once again, there's one thing on the planet that the blockchain was made to do and smart contracts were made to do, that is to manage the accounting functions of organizations. So having said all of that, guys, I hope we all get rich off this one. This could be very interesting. Again, not financial advice, but you may want to put a little bit of ETH in there. And again, click through the affiliate link and let's both win, win, win. All right, guys, that's it. Crypto Kurt out.